How's everyone going with Music Elements? I hope you're watching the videos and going through all of the information and that's being provided there. We've covered a lot of things. We've covered basic music reading, treble clef, bass clef. We've covered time signatures, how many beats are in each bar. We've covered note values. We've covered some basic scales. We've covered harmony. We've covered chord building, chord structure, triads. We started putting some things together in the last tutorial with building a harmony around notes and chords. So let's explore a bit more of that in the tutorial here today. So as I said, we've done all sorts of music elements in our music elements, from note reading to time signatures to harmonies and chords and triads. So extending the concept of chords, we've heard that major chords have a very bright, happy sound to them, like the chords that we've already done was C, C, E, G, F, F, A, C, and G, G, B, D. And you can hear they have a very bright, happy sound to them. Lots of songs, sort of been known for many a time that the Beatles wrote a lot of their songs as just three chords. And then what they would do is embellish the harmonies. So they would then add a minor sound to create a particular tone. So we go from like a major to a minor. And you can hear the sound straight away. Then it lifts to a major to a minor. And then a minor. You can hear the tone. It just creates a melancholy, like a sad, a different type of sound. And that could be like that on any instrument. This is a piano, of course. But if you had an orchestra set up like I have up here, you can major and then a minor. You're going to hear the sound straight away. It just changes. To a minor. You can just hear how the ambience and the tone and that of a major and a minor chord are just yin and yang. It's just totally different. So if you're starting to do some songwriting, I would definitely suggest start off writing songs in a major key using our three chords, C, F and G, and then develop the other chords that are in between. So literally, if you use your three fingers, if you've got a keyboard, C, E, G, right? And then we're stepping up. D, F, A is D minor. The D on the bottom, add the third, add the fifth. The next one is E, E, G, B. E minor. Next one, F, A, C. Next one, G, B, D. G chord we've done. Next one, A, C, E. A minor. The next one, leave it out. It's like a diminished chord, it's a bit weird. So leave out the seventh one, okay? So it's basically just putting it all together, okay? So you have your song, C major, just write it from C to C. And just play your solid chord, block chord down the bottom here, C, E, G, okay? There's your C chord. Any C, E or G you play on the right hand in the melody is going to sound great because the harmony, underlying tone of C, E and G is already sitting here. Any C, E, G, doesn't matter where it is, is going to sound great. F chord, F, A, C, any F, any A, any C, it's going to sound great. G, G, B, D, any G, B, D is going to sound great. Okay, so It's just a matter of sitting there, 4/4 time syntagm, treble clef, bass clef, rule up the music stuff, C chord, and coming up with a melody. If you've got some words, write them down. Say one line over 10 times to yourself. Out loud's often quite good. Close your eyes. Saying it out is even better because it opens up your hearing senses more. And say the words of your first line of your poem or lyrics that you've written over several times. Now, while you're saying that, lightly, if you've got a keyboard or guitar, play the chord. Lightly, play like the C chord. And then just say the words. Say the words over of that first line. Then do it with the second line, and maybe just change the chord on the second line to a G. Now you're saying the second line of the lyrics of your poem, whatever you've written. Okay, then go back and do the first line again with the C chord. Say the words and just start sort of just playing 2, 3, 4, then the F chord, 1, 2, 3, then back to the C chord, 1, 2, 3, then the G. And for the third and the fourth line. For the third line, then maybe the fourth line you go back to C. Always start and end on the C chord. That's the C chord, your first part, first lot of words. C chord is your last line or half of the last line of your lyrics. Depends what your lyrics are or what your poem is on and what it's about too. So as you know, all music, all songs are totally different. So if you're putting words to music, write out the words, space them out a little bit, look for the syllables, the syllables in words. Piano has 3, piano, it depends how many times your chin hits your hand if you say a syllable. You can break it up, you can put a little dash between the syllables in a word if you wanted to do that. There's lots of different ways you can do it. Many songwriters, all songwriters do things differently. You know, what works for someone might not work for someone else, and vice versa. So it's just working on the chord, the underlying fundamental harmony, chords that are playing. Mix it in with whatever melody that you're working with your poem or the lyrics you've got, and then literally putting it together to see what you end up with. But as I said before, major chords, a bright sound, but if you want that minor, that sad, if you've got sad lyrics, put the minor chords in, use them. I love minor chords. I love adding ninths and 13ths and all sorts of weird things to my chords, and getting different sorts of harmonies and all sorts of and sounds. And particularly with the years, I was writing a lot of music for orchestras and arranging for orchestras and things, coming out with different tones and things that like a string orchestra would play, which is sort of what I've got up here, you know. Different types of sounds and chords. It just depends, you know. And then playing finger-picking guitar or something like that, you're going to have different sound, a different tonal experience to the way your ears hear and pick up the sound frequencies and the way that you and your brain processes a different chord or a different tone. What might sound good to me and the different harmonies and things might sound a bit weird to someone else because they haven't heard those tones and the ninth chords and 13ths. But one underlying element that you really need to take on board is have fun. That's all it is. Enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the music you're creating, enjoy any music you're listening to, and have fun at writing and composing music, writing your lyrics, and then putting it all together. It might get frustrating, you might want to tear up the pages every now and again, but seriously, have fun with what you're doing, because if you're not having fun, what's the point to writing music or playing an instrument, you know? So make sure the number one thing is enjoy what you do. So thanks guys, thanks for listening again to another Music Elements. I used to say in all of my motivational videos and motivation work I was doing many years ago, a little saying that I sort of would end all my videos on. And with music composing and that sort of thing, like what I just said about it being fun and enjoying it, I think this saying's really good, so I'll say it. May the rest of your life be the best of your life and love what you're doing. So until the next one, bye.